welcome into Wrestling Spotlight. This week we have the Dealz machine himself, Danny Dealz from the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Danny, I've been watching NWA 76 as it's playing out across the NWA account on X. We just saw a new tag team champion, so a recent guest here, Baby Doll, is happy. Her daughter, Miss Star, is now your one half of the NWA Women's Tag Champions with Ella Envy. And it looks like it was a great
fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth with four different partners.
Four different partners, which is hard to do.
Yeah. Well,
she's a tag team specialist now by definition, right?
Yeah, apparently. And she's got a new shirt up on the shop too. There's a
lot of great stuff. You go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com, hit the shop button. You can see all the great products there. How was the NWA 76? How did that go after a big event in Philadelphia, one of the best pro wrestling cities in the country?
Yeah, it was good. It was cool. It was, I'm in Nashville. I grew up in the Rust Belt. I'm not the most fond of the Northeast, but it was all right. No, it was pretty good. We had a good time. It was a big crowd. They were into it. And there was a lot of good stuff. There was a lot of good matches. I'm trying to think of something special to tell you.
Well, you got a new, another recent guest, Tom Latimer, now your NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think they're done yet, right? Because we're going to get a matchup between EC3 and Tom Latimer coming up at SAMHAIN, right? Yeah,
it's not over. SAMHAIN, they're going to have a rematch. EC wants his rematch quick, so he's going to get it at SAMHAIN. I suspect it's going to be more wild than Philly. Philly was, as I was unable to put into words, what 76 was, but no, there was a lot of great action at 76. And Tom and EC3, I mean, they were all over the place, right? It was pretty wild match. I feel like this one's going to be a little bit more wild. Maybe, there might even be, I mean, anything can happen, right? We could get there and they could say, no, this is going to be, false count anywhere or anything crazy, or it could just be a straight up match. I just feel like it's going to be, EC's going to have to bring it, right? He's going to have to bring it. Tom, and is it a fluke that Tom beat him? Or does Tom got his number, or is EC, you know what I mean? You never know, right? It's just like sports. We've talked sports before. Sometimes you got a team's number, even if they're, my everybody always fawns over the Ravens and gives my Steelers slack, but look at the Ravens' record against the Steelers the last few years, with some bad quarterbacks too, right? So, sometimes you just got somebody's number.
Yeah, well, and here, dating back to my time in Cleveland, at least the Browns now don't have to worry about Deshaun Watson at quarterback. I feel bad for Deshaun, but yeah, it's been a rough year for the Browns. No, booed him out. It was like it was a pro wrestling match. A little bit off for the NFL. You don't usually see that.
No.
Booed him out of the stadium.
I'll tell you what, in 2002, somebody gave me and my buddy, I don't know why they didn't want to go, but they had tickets to Ravens-Browns, Sunday Night Football. I think it was on ESPN still. And I was like, I don't care about them. My buddy's like, a free NFL tickets. What's the matter with you? So we went, and that's the game where Tim Couch got hurt, and all the people cheered. Do you remember that? He was like crying on the news. And I'm like, buddy, it's Cleveland. You can't be crying on the news. You know what I mean?
But I mean, it was the Browns have had some horrible quarterbacks.
Yeah, but they did make the playoffs that year. Remember, they had a crazy playoff game against Pittsburgh. And they had won 9 games, and Couch had won 7 of them. You know what I mean? So I was like, why are you guys booing him? Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand it, but, it just was that. But that's Cleveland. They don't care. You know what I mean? They'll
they ran Baker Mayfield out of town, too.
Well, I think the fans liked him. I feel like that was the organization.
Yeah, that was the ownership.
The fans liked him. He gave him their first playoff win since '94. So.
Yeah. Just like NFL teams kind of move through rosters. NWA, who are some of the new stars that people should be looking out for in the NWA since the last time we talked? I think we talked right about when the territories were getting relaunched.
Yeah, you already know about, of course, Pretty Empowered and all those people. But I think, and she's been there for a little bit, but Tiffany Nieves is one
Mm-hmm.
to keep an eye on, right? And she's really trying to, lately, she works all the time. She's all over the place. She's constantly trained. She go back to Dr. Tom's, go back to jazz. But like, I feel like she's going to start trying to assert herself and force herself into like the women's title picture, like because she's starting to get mouthy. Like, where's my shots? You know what I mean? And her partner, she
Mm-hmm.
had been tagging with Rekka, but Rekka got injured, so I feel like she's going to turn her sights to some
Move to the singles.
some singles titles. But they were steamrolling towards the King Bees, who were then the tag champs. But I think Tiffany Nieves is one to look for sure. Who else is, well, obviously Southern Six continues to get stronger, but we had talked about them. Alex
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's got the junior heavyweight title now. Thrilly's Thrill, Carrie's Carrie. How
about the guys behind me? Your new U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Country Gentlemen.
The country men of gentleness. Yeah, they've had kind of an attitude change recently, haven't they? You know what I mean? They got the all
bringing
white
out the rule book.
Yeah, Papa Joe. Well, he's got the book. I've looked it over. I mean, it's legit. It is, and they do everything by the book. I'll have you know. And I was just
At least
at
when the ref's looking.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, it's all subjective. But I was just at a JCP show Sunday with Plunkett, who's the Mid American. He's got the Mid American title. He's taking that. That's a territory belt. He's taking it all over the territories, all over the Indies. We went up there to a JCP show, and the country gentlemen were there, of course, creating havoc. It was a good time. How about that song? I know that's your favorite song. Is that your ringtone?
Yeah, it was catchy, and it ties in, right? It ties into the gimmick. They got the book there. They're working the gimmick.
Yeah. Another one too, like a couple slime balls, right? Kind of growing on me a little bit, right? They're kind of like AWA nasty boys.
Yeah, a little bit.
Vibe,
yeah.
Right? Slime balls are a little crazy. Carson Drake. You know what I'm talking about? I think Carson Drake is another. He's another one. He seems to be kind of doing this, and actually, he's challenged Max the Impaler for the television
the TV title.
So at SAMHAIN. So we'll see how that ends up. Because Carson said, he goes, "Look, this is a television company, and I'm the best guy. I should be the champion of television." That's what. So hey, go get it. You know what I mean? What are you
going
to do?
It's a heck of a challenge, though. Max the Impaler.
Well, no, it is. Nobody said
not someone to mess around with.
No, of course not. Max is insane. And we've also have, there's a couple like, Lev, Alexander Misery, or Alex Misery, rather. I call him. His full name is Alexander Miserable. There's a lot. I feel bad because I know I'm going to leave somebody out that I'm trying to talk about. But there's a lot of, we have had kind of a, you have your stalwarts, but since the last time we talked, we have had some turnover and a lot of young people, kids everywhere in the locker room. I walk through and drop, Reservoir Dogs references that go right over their head. And, nobody knows what I'm talking about ever. I'm crazy uncle or something. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, okay. What the hell is he talking about?
Well, that's good though, right? I mean, like any team, you want to build up a foundation, and I think that territory system is helping out. I know you had the Back to the Territories event. Pretty Boy Smooth from Exodus Pro was up there, had a couple of high profile matches.
And defended his title. And some other guys came out of territories too, like Tyler Franks, Hunter Drake, people like that. You might see them soon, I just feel like I wouldn't get kicked out of those meetings, but I'm not invited to them, so I don't know. I just feel like some of the young talent that showed up and the way they showed out, that I just feel like we'll see him again. Or even the old Big Mama won the television championship at NWA Chicago. Yeah. NWA Chicago, which is also where Alex Taylor won the junior heavyweight title. So that's what you got to go do. Territory shows aren't just throwaway, house shows or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes stuff happens. You know,
Yeah, I think
clearly
it's a
it does.
great idea too to build momentum, so that way you're getting closer because I mean, here talk about it a lot on the channel that nothing against at all, nothing against WWE, AEW, TNA, but there's a difference with the experience when you're in a small venue and there's 200, 300 people and you can go talk to the wrestlers at the merch stand during the intermission and you just have that much more of a connection. I think it adds something to the experience.
Well, no, I mean, it's like, you lived in Cleveland, and I don't know if you remember like the Fantasy Theater and places like that,
Uh-huh.
but like, in like, 89, we'd go see hardcore shows there, like, Bad Brains, SNFU at the Fantasy Nightclub, saw GBH there, Circle Jerks, whatever. Or even up over at the Grog Shop, we saw like Rich Kids and LSD and people like that. We partied with them
Hmm.
afterwards. And that's it. It's totally different environment. People are packed into this tight joint where like when I went with these skater buddies that I went to school with and they wanted to go see, New Order and Public Image at the Blossom, and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's totally
1,000 miles
different. You know
away.
what I
Yeah.
mean? It's totally different. Well, we snuck our way into the pavilion. But you're still like, you know what I mean? I wasn't
Yeah.
going to be able to stage dive at the Blossom, you know what I mean? Where I could at the, Fantasy, jump up, singer,
Hmm.
dive, you just, it is a different experience, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of like you're in the, you're in the thing. You're in the thing with them almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
More part of the show. I mean, here
Yeah.
I was covering our Fountain City Pro event, one of the promotions that we sponsor, and
Yeah.
had to take a little jump step away to miss getting knocked over by Jeremy Wyatt jumping out of the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
hey,
was like
it
that
happens.
close.
You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
mean, I'm telling you, in who's texting me? Minuteman. Okay, that's telling me some prints already. I got to go get these prints in a little bit. I've got prints I got to get. So I don't know when this airs, but I'm going to be leaving tomorrow for Samhain, and I'm not just
Okay.
the color commentator extraordinaire, and not just the deal man, but I've got all kinds of things here. Right, I have basically almost everything we use. So I'm going to be. I got to pick up some prints. I got to pick up some this, that, the other. They shipped me some things in big boxes. I don't know what's in them. I'm just going to put them on I'm going to put them in the mini truck and I'm going to drive them down there. I'm not even going to open
Hopping
them.
in
I
the
don't know what the
truck
hell
and
they
going.
are. I don't know what they are. I'm going to go down to Tampa for Samhain Dos. I feel like it's going to be wild. I don't know what's in those boxes,
Hmm.
but I just feel like somebody's going to get their head kicked in. Since we were speaking about punk earlier, it's an old Oi song. But
Hmm.
in any event, yeah, no, you have to those tight environments like that. Back in my managing days, which I was amazing at, yeah, I could hear every single person. I would no sell them because they get hot about it, but I could hear every single.
Sure.
Almost every person. You say that, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
Oh
it's a
no, people
tight,
get
more
into it
intimate
too. They start
environment. Yeah,
yelling at the managers, yelling at the
yeah.
ref to pay attention. I mean, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, no, it is a good time. Yeah, anytime you can get in a building, anywhere from like 200, so somewhere like a Tampa TV studio where I think the max is like 2 or 250. Can't really put anything above that in there because of the way the studio, fire codes and
Hmm.
all. It's all very technical. Uh, but you put like that in a studio, or you go to like we were at the 2300 arena. What's that? 1,000, I think, is the capacity or
About a
whatever
thousand, yeah.
with the standing room. I think it's like 800 seats, 200 standing. You get in rooms like that, and it gives you a different vibe. You know what I mean? And or Dolphin, which we're going back to in December, which I think is I don't know if it's a 25 or 3,000 seater, but it's like a mini, like what a minor league hockey arena would be. Even though that's
Hmm.
not what it is, but it's that kind of capacity. You know what I mean? And when we go there, we put like 2,000 in it, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I know
Um,
you guys re-upped to go back there almost immediately after the show.
Yeah, no, they had the graphic like quickly. Well, they loved it. We loved it. And I hadn't been to Dothan in 10 years. And the last time I was there, it was brutal. And that's why I was like, oh my God, we're going to Dolphin. They're like, have you been to Dolphin? I said, oh yeah, TNA ran a house show there in 2014. I'm like, ooh, bloody. And we went there for this, and it was awesome. And people, and yeah, the crowd was hype. It was a good crowd. Um, and Yeah, no, it was awesome. And they definitely watched the show because, like, it's not like Joe and I get introductions when we go to the commentary table and they were yelling at us like they knew us.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, oh, good. Well, they watched the show. You never know, right? If somebody was just like, hey, we've got some tickets, like, sure, why not? You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
no, I think NWA Power, I mean, the time that you launched, obviously there were some things that worked against you with COVID, with having to lock down, but I think the impact, not intentionally using the word impact, but the results of the years of the shows that you guys have done, I think have been great because it's really added a lot to the pro wrestling landscape. Had some really influential programming.
yeah, 19 and 20. We did 3 seasons before the pandemic at GPB. Right? And then the pandemic, and then you came back from it. And those were weird too, where you really could you weren't really allowed to have anybody in GPB, or
Hmm.
that sometimes they're like you can have 20 people, and you'd be like okay, but then
Have to distance them
you're like
out.
you
Yeah.
almost rather just have none of them, you know what I mean? Just because it was like this little, but um, yeah, no, I mean it's changed a lot in that time, and I think the production level is definitely higher than it was. And I always hear people go, "Oh, the GPB, they should go back to that." Like if we were still doing that, they'd be, "Oh, is it still that?" You know what I mean? Like it had to change and
Yeah, you'd
evolve.
want
Like that
something
was
different.
cool, but it had to evolve at some point. You could only do retro kind of for so long. Like I think it was awesome for what it was, but at some point it had to evolve out of that. You know what I mean? Because if we were still doing it, people would be tired of it. It's just they
Hmm.
had it for this time, and they're like, well, that's when it was, whatever. So I get it. You know what I mean? But it's like nothing. Nothing does stay the same, and nothing can stay the same. I like the look of the show now. I think it looks better than it ever has.
Yeah, the
Um,
production values look terrific, and
yeah,
you're getting those different styles. You don't have there's not one style of match. You're seeing a variety of different wrestlers. You're seeing
yeah.
unique wrestlers like a Max the Impaler. You
Yeah.
get a young, powerful guy like Big Strong Mims. You
Uh-huh.
got the brother tag team that follow the rules when it's
They're by
obvious,
the book.
necessary.
You know what though? How
So
about the women?
yeah,
Like how good? I
um,
mean, those are some of the best matches. Those are some of my favorite
Kenzie
matches to
and
call.
Kenzie and Kylie. I wanted to ask you about them too. They're not
Yeah,
just champions and championship level competitors. They actually own their own territory too. That's part of the territory system.
that's correct. Yeah, they took the show over from their father. That show's actually been running for like 20 years. Like I used to do shows for their father, like back in like 2006 or 7 or
Hmm.
something. Like it's been running for a long time, and they took it over from him. And they run that. And I'd been there. I was there. That was a couple months ago. Um, and Yeah, they run the promotion. They're badasses in the ring. Of course, they sell probably the most merch out of any of the talents. Got those pretty empowered jerseys up. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
when is this going to air?
Uh, Today.
Oh, okay. So, so if you
Gonna
go,
gut
we
it
never
straight
know.
to
Sometimes
live.
you do one and then
Yeah,
it airs like 2 months
month
later.
later.
And then
Now
you're
gonna
like,
punch it
this
straight.
week. No.
We
So if
got
you
we
go
got
to,
24 hours a day, 7 days a week of TV time to fill up on
oh, I
Wrestling
know it. I know
Spotlight.
it.
So
I know it. But I didn't. So
yeah.
if you go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com, hit the shop button now through the 28th of October. If you use Sammy Dealz, SAMMYDEALZ, all caps, you'll get a discount, 25% off
Oh man,
your whole order. Use it at checkout. So um,
your saw
get you a
win
pretty
discount.
empowered jersey, right? Got
Yeah.
some new stuff too. I got some stuff that isn't up there yet that I'm going to bring to Samhain, and then if it blows out, I'm going to remake it. And if it doesn't, I'll bring back what's left and put it on the site. I got some cool stuff coming. I can't really. I don't want to talk about it until I have it because it's goofy. I do got to remake some more of these. You know, in Nashville we get the Southern Fall, which means it's
Mm-hmm.
44 in the morning, 80 in the daytime, and then 68 at night, right? And
Yep.
then, but I got to remake the bulkier hoodie for my up north people,
Yeah, for the
where that's
northern
why I made
tribe.
the red pullover. I'm just gonna grab it. It's sitting right here.
Sure.
Um, and yeah, as I say that, it wants to fight with me. But that's why I grabbed this nice red pullover hoodie, right? So I got to make another zip hoodie. I made the
Mm-hmm.
pullover one because somebody's like, "What's the pullover one?" I said, "Man, listen, I grew up on the Great Lakes. You know it. You don't
Absolutely.
wear zip hoodies on the Great Lakes, right? Because when are you unzipping it, right? The wind cuts through you. So
Not
you
too
wear a
often.
pullover. Every hoodie I had when I lived up there was a pullover, right? Now I got zip hoodies down here. I know some people still like zip hoodies up there. Of course they do. But I'm just saying, let me make a pullover because there's some people that just.
Yeah, Kansas City and Nashville have dramatically different weathers than Cleveland and Chicago. It's like
100%.
walking through a wind tunnel downtown.
Yeah. So, sometimes you need that pullover. But yeah, making all kinds of stuff. Um, Getting ready, getting my suits ready. Got some new suit jackets. Me and Joey G on the ones and twos, and we've had Billy out there with us.
Mm-hmm.
The last, I don't know, last few tapings. I
Yeah.
think he likes being
Last
out
few
there with
events.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so he's going to be out there with us again, I assume. And so I like to rile him up. He gets hot at me sometimes for he thinks I don't call it down the middle, or I use a reference from an '80s movie, which I think he skipped the '80s when it came to movies. He knows if we talk music, he'll know all of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I just, I called Jimmy Mitchell Ming the Merciless, and
Oh, sure. Flash
I don't
Gordon
know if he
reference.
knew what the yeah, Flash Gordon. Doesn't he
Yeah.
kind of look like him, right? He's got the eyebrow
There
gimmick,
is
his
a
bald head.
resemblance.
There's a definite resemblance, right? So, and I saw his cousin this weekend. I don't know if it was his cousin, but at JCP, had some crew of weird dudes with him. One had fire, one had a chainsaw. It was ridiculous. They were wrestling the Blockbusters, these two British kids who won the NWA JCP tag straps. I wish we could see them on Power. Maybe they're working the
Mm-hmm.
territories. Maybe we'll see them soon. Who knows? Um, but that's what I'm saying. Like the I don't know if she'll be there, but she was at our last taping with Lily Pescadita, who's from NWA Chicago.
Lily La Pescadita, yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
former
Yeah, little
Northland Pro
sis.
champion.
Yeah. Jacked. So she got in on the action at Power. So I mean, yeah, no, it works, right? Territory stuff. It
Yeah.
works. We see some guys,
Oh, heck,
guys and girls come up, and yeah. So
we got her right here.
we're
Hi, everybody. I'm Lily La Pescarita from Northland Pro Wrestling, your Northland Pro Wrestling Women's Champ. And you can see me on Wrestling Spotlight.
There she is.
yeah. See, as we talk about it, she asked me about younger talents, and they go, "I told you I'd forget people," and then as we talk, I remember people. Right? I get not scatterbrain, but sometimes it moves too fast for
No,
this.
there's so many people because over the last, and really it was just paused a little bit because of COVID, but really over the last 5, 6 years, you've seen the territories just start booming again, where
Mhm.
there's independent wrestling shows all over. I mean, here just in Kansas City in the last year, 2 more promotions have started up that are running shows and drawing 200-300 people,
Yeah.
which it's great.
For a
And
small independent,
it's
it's great,
tying in with
right?
St. Louis.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for because people don't. I think some people, like, if you've never like been to an indie show, or you don't go on the regular, and they'll see clips from like some of the bigger indies where there's tons of people and there's this that there's a million of them that got 20 people at them. I've been at a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
But so you draw two or 300 people in to a smaller indie show without television and things like that. It's impressive. It's good.
Yeah, you're doing a good
It means
job.
it's thriving, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's good. That's good stuff. And that's where ultimately a lot of the future comes from. Some of it does come from D1 athletes and all that, but some of it also comes off the indies. There's always diamonds in the rough on the independents that, just have it. And then but they find a way somewhere, and then they get they round it out. They round out the rough edges if they can get somebody.
Yeah.
And Jazz is an agent at NWA, and she's done that with a lot of the young talent that comes in. She'll kind of turn them in the right direction, and it's it's good. That's the future, right? I mean, everybody's got a bump card, and it's going to run out. We always we're always looking for the next thing, and Billy's really big on the youth movement too. A lot, obviously, you have your veterans and people like that, and you need to have them too. But you always have to continue to look towards the future. And you might miss on a couple draft picks, but you're going to hit on a couple, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't know till
getting
you
a
try.
lot more schools now too. Brian Idle, I know, has a school that he runs. Tom Latimer has one. Jazz, obviously.
Tom doesn't have one. He was working on one. Yeah.
Well, Hatchet Wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not his, but
Okay.
he used to train up here, and Crimson had a school in Clarksville,
Mhm.
and Plunkett did the beginners class. Crazy Steve was the intermediate. Tom finished you off, and I was the assistant to all three for a long time. That's actually where like Match Jake came through there, Mims came through there, a few people came through there, right? So, EC3's got his thing going with Exodus Pro up there, right? They're like a crew. We had them on the NWA live stream on Monday, and we had EC as a guest, and he had 5 dudes behind him standing like this, with tracksuits on, looking like Cobra Kai. I don't know what he's got going on up there, but he's pumping them brothers out. And I've seen a few of the guys that have come out of there too, that are Sebastian, Cristiano, and PB. Well, he didn't train. PB didn't train there, but people like that, they just go, okay, well, something's going on up there, right? You know what I mean? Your boy Man Bun Jesus and those little weird bears that he's got with him, whatever the hell they are. So he's got his thing going on up there. They got a show, I think, on the 15th of November. Could be wrong. Usual Suspects. Kazana's actually his last 2. He's done some like Sunday matinee type shows recently, which I like, right? Yeah. Which are good too, and it works for people who are doing loops that weekend. Friday here, Saturday here, come through Sunday, finish it off. And Kenzie and Kylie, their next show, I should know it, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's but there is an Around the Territories package that airs on Power. So if you watch Power that aired yesterday on X, I'm sure there was one on there that kept you up to date. But yeah, you just got to keep moving, because before you know it, it'll be 2025. So you always have to keep moving forward. You can't rest on anything or take a break. You just have to keep moving. I should probably flip this over. It's got somebody's address on it. I don't know if you can see it.
No. It's not that clear.
Amongst a lot of things I do, I do ship some of these orders out, and I got to email this guy about this shirt right here, because I oversold it. I'm going to make more, but I do have a replacement if you would like. I've also got sheets here. See, I'm doing everything here, right? I got the new program laid out right here. We got WrestleCade coming. Pretty Empowered is going to be there. Kenzie and Kylie. Ella's also going to be there. So kind of
keep them separated.
Just a little bit. But we're going to be at WrestleCade in Winston-Salem. It's always the weekend following Thanksgiving, right? You have Thanksgiving, and then it's that weekend. Wherever Thanksgiving falls, that's where WrestleCade is. It's a great time. The ladies are going to be there. Tom's going to be there. A few other people that I can't think of off the top of my head. A few other NWA people. There's going to be 9 million people there. I mean, the thing's grown every year. It's grown every year. It's my favorite con. I love it. So we've got that coming. Of course, in January, we got the Shockwave show back in Forney, Texas, where we did the Crockett Cup. That's a super cool building. Like, we were in there. I feel like they just pulled the stickers off that place. Like, it's like so new. I think it's been there like a year, but and everything's on wheels. It's awesome. All right. Everything's on wheels. Everything's new. They have a balcony where me and Joey G were at, like the brothers from the Muppets. To me, him and Billy were up there in the gimmick, calling the matches. And a great building, packed it out. People were, some of them had never been to. Some of the people there weren't even familiar really with the show. there was they knew there was a big show happening, and so they bought tickets and came. You know, we had some like local ticket sellers or something, and I feel like we converted a few of them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like they knew the show, but they didn't really know it, right? And then when they left, it was a different story. The reason I know that is because I went by to check on the people who were doing the merchandise, and the money on the way out doubled what came in. So that's when I went,
Good sign.
we converted some of them, right? You know what I mean? That was cool. Let me get that, you know. So,
They were running for the Magic Jake Dumas t-shirts.
Well, we made some. Remember, it had CJ on it. We sold out of those. Yeah, he needs a new design. He does. Him and I have talked about it a few times. We need a new design. He's formulating something up in his. He's been on the show, is he not?
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to. Have you ever had Pretty Empowered grace your presence on here?
No, I'd love to have him on.
Oh, we're gonna have to change that. That. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. Well, we'll put Tiffany Nieves. I should get Tiffany Nieves on here too. I mean, she'll conduct the interview. You can just sit there.
That's fine. Yeah.
I tell you, man, she's a firecracker.
Want to throw the spotlight on all the wrestlers.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good. I forgot Caribbean Flow. How did I forget Caribbean Flow? Rosa Negra and Ruthie J. Right? They were gunning for those tag straps too. Now that the It Girls have them, you know, let's see what's going on there. Trevor and Knox finally ripped the titles away from BFT, which hurts my heart. Aaron Stevens is a genius, and $5,000 haircut, $10,000 jacket, socks made out of silkworm secretions, and you know, he's a very cultured man. But they're going to have.
Saw him at the Kentucky Derby.
That of course you did. And yeah, they're going to have a rematch at Samhain also. Kenzie's putting her strap on the line at Samhain. They got that three-way, Kylie, Natalia Markova, who she's a pain in the ass too. I don't mean like backstage. I'm saying in the ring.
Sure.
You know, she's got some heavy hands, heavy feet. And Haley J is the other one in that three-way. And I put $10 down on Kylie taking the points, so it's going to be good. We'll see what it does with the juice. And you know, I'm trying to think of all the matches on there. I should know them, but you know what I mean. I don't know. They send me graphics, I share them, and then you know, they got so much stuff going on here. I got stuff going on up here.
They'll unfold over Power, right? Because it's not a pay-per-view now. It's a signature live event, and then it's going to be shown over Power over a couple of weeks.
Yep. And that is indeed correct. And we're in Tampa. It was supposed to be in Sarasota at the Robards Arena, and we did really well. We were there last year for the return to Robards, right around the same time of the year. I think it was November, maybe. But we did really well there. Cool building, old building, a lot of history. But it didn't get wiped out in the hurricane in Sarasota, but like they're using it for relief efforts and stuff. Like they're know what I mean?
So it's just not available.
We moved it back to Tampa, to the studio, which is going to be wild because I know that we'll see. I just feel like some wildness was going to ensue, and I was like, okay, it's a little bit tighter in here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of
get
space.
The power station in there, you know. But yeah, it should be. You know, we'll see. You know, of course, I'm sure the Baron will be there, right? You know,
I like that, bringing back the Iron Claw.
Yeah, he's a madman. He thinks he's the Baron, right? I
don't think they have.
You need to get you a Baron shirt. I got a Baron shirt up on the website. Yeah, you got a Sammy Dealz. Use your discount. He'll be up. You know, Jax is the only one that can talk sense into him. You know, Jax is crazy too. I mean, look at him. And you know, Mims, who now has national title, won the national title at 76. Ever since he got with G's, right? Black G's. He's got to, you know.
The train's coming for you. It's moving.
I can't do anything about it. Brother's right there. Yeah, where the Dealz house is at, it's like we got the depot right behind us, like right there. Cuts right through the center of town. And we know. We know.
Do they just slow the train down and throw the shipment out of the side of the car?
I feel like they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, Black Jesus has got Mims on the right path. You know, Mims was lost there for a little bit, and Now Jesus got him, focused, got the national title. Joe Galley contends that it was under controversial circumstances with Carson Drake. I didn't see anything. Right. So,
You know what? Like Ric Flair used to say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
well, look, and guy, like I said, I did say earlier, but Carson Drake's another one you got to watch out for. He's also, he may have a future in stand up. And also, as he showcased, we, as you know, or maybe don't know, NWA, we did 3 shows at the Riot Fest in Chicago, and Carson displayed some of his singing ability. He sang Capella, some Frank Sinatra. It was wonderful. The Mutants booed him, but they don't have any taste. I mean, they were there to see Gore and stuff like that. So what do they know? But I dragged Kyle Davis to see Slayer. He had never seen them, and that was a event for him.
I bet.
I was gonna try to push him in
an experience
because the gate fell over and it was like right there. I was gonna push him in there, but I couldn't do that. Not Kyle. So he displayed those singing skills there, and there was rude people there. But I'm telling you, the guy, I'm trying to get him lined up on Star Search.
Well, and he's a chef as well. I've seen his cooking with Carson segments.
He is a chef. He definitely is a chef. Absolutely. So, you never know. I feel like I should, let me see here. Oh, well, no, it's not working. I was going to look something up for you, and my email's dinging. I apologize. What is going on here? Okay, somebody sent me an invoice. What is the invoice for? Okay. Anyway, what are we doing here? I'm trying to conduct an interview. Or be a part of it.
Billy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna send to Kyle. Say, pay this. I don't know what it is. But yeah, no. I mean, it just keeping the pipes fresh here. You know what I mean? Because I got to, if I'm not calling matches, nobody's gonna watch them. So I gotta be prepared.
No, definitely add a significant element to the show.
Keep Joe Galley in line, right? Got to make sure we got all our stuff. You know what I mean? Got some foam hands here.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Got to make sure we got all our stuff down there. Got these boxes that got delivered for Sal Win. Like I don't know what's in them. I'm just going to throw them on.
Well, and it's coming up real soon on the 26th.
Yeah,
in Tampa.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, it's hopping in the Dealz mobile and taking the long drive out to Tampa.
Yeah, well, I got to bring a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I got these boxes. I said, okay, I'll bring it. What are we gonna do? I don't care. Well, I'll drive down there.
We'll go ahead and got our championship round. We got the Wrestling Spotlight title here, and just wanted to see who your champion of the week is.
My champion of the week? Well, of course, it's Kenzie Page.
Anyone in the world of pro wrestling.
Kenzie Page. She's got the Burke. How long has she had it? Over a year? Is anybody ever going to beat her for it? Probably not. And she's changed her hair, if you've noticed. It looks really nice. She's got the two-tone thing going on. She's got the new jacket. You know what I mean? She got to get comfortable because the belt ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? She's just probably going to have it until she decides she doesn't want it. Maybe, find a charity case or something. Say, here you go. Be a champion for a little bit. I got to go, do this or something. So, that's the champion of the week. Of course.
And just ranked super high in the PWI 500.
She did. Should have been a little higher, but that's okay. Should have been a little higher. Kylie should have been a little higher too. I'm a little, a little discrimination against baby Kylie. She was a little too high up there. This should have been a little lower. A little lower. But that's, what are you gonna do, right? You got biased officials in the NWA, and you got biased officials over here at PWI.
That's right.
I'm kidding. I jest.
I'm going to stick with the NWA women's division because I think it is one of the better divisions going in wrestling. I'm going to go with Miss Star and Ella Envy. Miss Star for being a third generation superstar, and Ella Envy, 4-time tag team champion with 4 people.
Yeah.
Champion of the week for winning that women's tag title against a good opponent, the Killer Bees.
Yeah, the King Bees were they were good. Danny was the athleticism, and I say was like she's not here.
Yeah.
Danny's the athleticism, and because Charity was a power lifter, and she still may compete. I'm not sure, but yeah, you had Thunder and Lightning basically.
Mhm.
They were a good combo for sure. Held on to those belts for almost a year. I still
Yeah.
contend that that there's a controversial finish when they beat Pretty Empowered. I don't think Ella was the legal person when they pinned her, but that's neither here
I
nor
agree
there.
with you. But a win's a win.
Yeah, but be that as it may, and I doubt that it ever was. Ella is now the 4-time champ with Miss Star. So yeah, no, I mean, and let's give a shout out to Alex Taylor, who has got that junior heavyweight title.
Yeah,
He's been
junior
taking
title
that
now.
everywhere. He takes it everywhere he goes. You know what I mean? And he's been defending that all over the place. He's actually about to, I believe, he's going to have that belt with him it starts today in Nashville, actually.
Mm.
The JCW, the Train of Terror tour. He's going to be on all that. He's going to pop into Sal Win, kick a little ass, and continue to beat someone. He's going to be beating people up for about 10 straight days. Of course, Sal Win.
Tons of wrestling going on, that's for sure.
Yeah. So good times.
And just for people watching this, they're going to want to stay tuned to the NWA account on X to see the shows.
Currently on X, yes.
Just keep an eye out for any further developments.
Oh yeah. There's some stuff in the works. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, we're on X. It's also good too because we had man, my thing's just lighting me up here, guys. I'm trying to do something here. Okay. And so the international audience, like we were on the CW app, they couldn't get it.
They couldn't see
the app
it.
wasn't available, so it's like I hated it too. I mean, I have relatives overseas that I mean, I don't know that they watch me or not, but I've always
huge wrestling markets. I mean,
international
the UK,
people.
Japan, Mexico, yeah.
So now anybody can watch it again. So that's I'm glad for that. I'll be on that account every Tuesday, 6:05. There's 4 episodes up right now, I believe. And you can see the newest one is pinned to the top, and then the other ones are. I think Joe sent out the links to the others, and Matt. We continue to put. And we've been feeding our YouTube page too. Older matches, but some newer matches too. I know there's a 76 match up there currently. I can't remember which one it is, but I saw the thumbnail and I went, "Oh, all right." So constantly feeding that for people, and just stay tuned. The Dealz man may have a surprise for you. Oh, don't forget. By the way, Sammy Dealz. All right, just add that.
Oh yeah.
I just got
25% off, right?
25. I know. I went crazy.
25% off. And, they're already putting the Christmas merchandise out in Target, so it's early enough for Christmas shopping. And what makes a better Christmas present than matching his and hers NWA hoodies?
I'm telling you. And, there's an order right here. What did this young man order? Well, I can't see. Cleveland, Ohio.
Championship belt, sling bag, fanny pack, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, what's the Anywhere belt bag? It's one of those Anywhere belt bags, right?
There you go.
It can be worn as a fanny, but also like you hook it here,
or
it's like an
a
Anywhere
sling.
belt
Yeah.
bag. The funny part about this is that I had taken a picture of Hunter, who's she's a ref for JCP, right? And I said, "Hey, put this on, however you want to wear it, and I got to take a picture of you." She goes, "All right." And so I posted on Instagram. There are like some because I said fanny pack, which it can be worn as a fanny pack, but that's not really what it is. And there are some fanny pack aficionados out there. They're like, "Oh, this is terrible. I've seen knockoffs better. Oh, this is terrible." But like at events, that is one of the highest selling items. Like I have to reorder them already. Pollyanna did the design. Pollyanna's a good dude. He makes a lot of pins and stuff. He made the lapel pins, a lot of the lapel pins for us, like these and all that stuff. So I'm just like, "Hey, can I take your design and put it on here?" He goes, "Yeah, whatever." I said, "All right." So good stuff. That's a newer item. I have a lot of tchotchke items like that pop up here and there, like this lunchbox. You see this lunchbox?
I like the lunchbox. Yeah, old school lunchbox.
Yeah, that's right. I have a new one coming though, not updated per se, but well, I guess it would be updated because BFT doesn't have the tag straps, and Max doesn't have that women's TV title, and EC3 doesn't have the world title. Well, I guess this is outdated a little bit, but the people are all still here. But well, Kenzie has her title, of course. Well, I mean, what am I talking about?
Close
So
enough.
she's the only retaining on there. But yeah, I got another one of those coming. Got all kinds of stuff coming. So you know what I mean. I've got this. I've got that. I'm doing territory shows. I got to keep the
Always
voice
moving.
beautiful for the television. I'm going to bring a bunch of props down to television. I got to do merchandise over here. You know, we're just staying busy over here, Daddy. Just like you got 24/7 on that channel.
Absolutely.
Right? You got all kinds of, water polo and
No, all wrestling.
Oh, okay.
24/7 wrestling. Yeah, we'll be following up. You can watch some of the stars from Glory Pro Wrestling in St. Louis, Fountain City Pro in Kansas City, POW in Portland, Oregon, UPW in the UP, all right here on Wrestling Spotlight. So, yeah.
Nice. There was a POW in Chicago, too, was it not? With 2 W's? Am I tripping?
Mm-hmm. This is POW from Portland.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, we got some, and you can see some. You can see some wrestlers making appearances that you can actually see in the NWA as well.
Oh yeah, like who? Tell us.
Well, the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper, made appearances. Lily La Pascaditas made appearances.
I think AJ's brought a big ass over there too, hadn't he?
Yeah. So some really, really good stuff, and it's available for free 24/7 on sports.tv. If you have a TCL TV, just hit the plus button. It's right there. And on TrueTVPlus. Get that app downloaded anywhere. 100% free.
Yeah. No, that's that's awesome. Why was I joking about water polo? You do other sports too, do you?
There's a sports channel too. There's Fired Up Network, which is regular sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember, but I knew it was like the old ESPN days where they have like water polo, then they'd have ABA, and then they'd have
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, yeah, but this is 24/7 pro wrestling. So
yeah, True TV app, right? TrueTVPlus,
TrueTVPlus, TrueTVPlus, and Wrestling Spotlight available on every TCL TV for FREE. Just hit the plus button on your remotes right there.
Look at that. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Little national TV.
Yeah.
But hey,
I love it.
Best of luck with SAMHAIN. Always enjoy talking NWA and getting the Dealz machine in, the hardest working man in professional wrestling. Take advantage of that sale. Sammy Dealz, SAMYDEALZ, all capitals.
SAMNYDEALZ.
There you go. National Wrestling Alliance.com shop, and you can find it right there. Get that Christmas shopping in early.
Get you a cup. Yeah. I got more stuff, but it's everywhere. I can't run and get it.
Banners. You can get a banner even.
Banners, shorts, joggers, hoodies. I got
a whole wardrobe.
I don't have socks yet. I'm gonna make them soon.
Well,
got some tracksuits. Got a couple tracksuits. I got a couple tracksuits, lots of shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, tank top, whatever. Yeah, got a little bit of everything. Hats. Got the Scully beanie, toque, whatever you call it. Got those. We got caps. Got got all kinds of stuff. What are we talking about?
Well, and best of luck with SAMHAIN. Hopefully, the Sinister Minister is in a good mood and doesn't come and do anything too bad to you.
Yeah, well, he stays over there now. We don't have heat anymore. After Jediah chokeslammed me to the commentary booth, essentially, it's been over.
That's good. We don't want another choke slam through the
we don't
through the table. That's not a lot of fun.
I didn't go through the table, but it felt like the concrete. That ring in St. Louis felt like concrete. I'll tell you that. I don't know if it was him, me, or the ring, or everything.
Well, and we'll keep in touch with the stars of the National Wrestling Alliance right here in Wrestling Spotlight. Danny, thanks for taking the time to step in.
Got it,
and
Daddy.
Stay tuned for more pro wrestling entertainment right here on Wrestling Spotlight.